Hi, everybody. I'm Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney. I'm located right outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia, and our clients are all throughout the United States. And we're able to do that because immigration is considered a federal practice, so we can represent you no matter where you are located. So we have a great topic today for those of you joining us live. We'll get into we will get into this topic a little bit right now, but I'll also take your immigration questions and answer them. I know many of you call our office and you just have one question that you need answered. So this is a great time for you to ask that question. Join me live. I'm usually on. I try to come on every day, even though it's kind of hard to do. So it's hard to do every day, but I'm trying really my best to be on here to answer your questions. So if you aren't already following us on TikTok, go ahead and follow us on TikTok so you're notified when I'm on live. You can also like our page on Facebook. Again, on TikTok and on Facebook, our handle is at Agarwal Immigration. So that's Agarwal Immigration. So at Agarwal Immigration on both Facebook and on TikTok. Like us, follow us, share our page with people that might be interested in immigration, that have immigration questions, because I do come on live and I'm able to answer many of your immigration questions. So pop them in here and I will get to them in a second, but I want to get started with our topic for the day, which is really exciting and different, and a lot of people aren't aware. So I help a number of clients on H-1B. So they are kind of people on H-1B or they're family members of H-1B holders. So if you're H-1B, if you don't know what an H-1B visa is, it is a employment sponsored temporary visa. So essentially, generally, there are loopholes, there are kind of exceptions to the general rule, but typically it's a work visa that is sponsored by a company for an individual to come and work specifically for that company. So this is really popular with people from India. Many people from India come here on an H-1B visa. A company sponsors them to come and do work for that specific company. Usually it's issued for 3 years and then it's extended for another 3 years. So there's a maximum of 6 years on that. It is really popular because many employers then decide to sponsor these people for a green card. Many companies will sponsor H-1B holders for a green card. Once they hit a certain point in their green card process, you can extend that H-1B beyond 6 years until the employment-based visa, immigrant visa, which is the green card, is available for you. So many people from India and China and some other countries that have a long wait time for a green card to become available for them. H-1B is a really good option to help them remain in the U.S. and continue to extend their visa for a number of years until that green card becomes available for them. So that's why H-1B is super popular amongst people that that are from countries that kind of have a long visa wait time right now. So that's China and India most popularly. But anyway, so many times people on H-1B come in with their spouse. So they either, many of our clients have had arranged marriages with people from India, and they come in, or maybe, they met their spouse and from abroad, and they're bringing them in as an H-4 dependent. So that means H-4 is the visa for your spouse or your children that are obviously not Americans that are coming in with you to be on this, to support you in your H-1B status. Excuse me. So H-4 dependents, unfortunately, they're not eligible for work authorization unless the H-1B holder, the principal person on that H-1B visa, is in a certain point in their green card application. So if they have a employment-based petition approved, then usually, this is the typical process, then usually their wife will qualify for work authorization so that she may work. So given this situation, guys, it becomes really problematic sometimes. It becomes really, really problematic. It's hard because you only have one person in that family that's earning an income. They're tied essentially to their employer to be able to remain legally in the U.S. So it's very, it can become quite challenging if, for example, the spouse is not able to work and there's a really long, unknown, uncertain period of time that the spouse has to remain unemployed in the US, right? So many times people get married. Let's say, for example, their wife comes in, she's educated, she's worked in India, she's excited about being in the US, but doesn't have authorization to work in the US. So essentially they become stay at home. There can be friction in the marriage. There can be problems caused in that marriage. But because the spouse is completely dependent on this H-1B visa holder, they feel stuck. They feel completely stuck. So I'm just giving you a scenario here. There is an answer. There is an answer to this situation. So one, the straightforward way is to wait until the H-1B visa holder gets a green card, right? Gets a petition approved for a green card, not necessarily a green card, and then the spouse can work, will be able to get work authorization. However, the other way, so let's say there's no green card pending. Nobody wants to sponsor your husband or your wife for a green card. They're the H-1B holder. They do not have, let's say they don't have a green card. There's still an answer if you are having issues in your marriage based on a number of different things. But let's say you come in, you're an H-4 dependent, you do not have work authorization, but then your husband or your wife, who's the primary H-1B holder, is emotionally abusive. They're calling you names. They make you feel bad. They make you feel bad for not working. They are financially controlling. You are not the person that can buy something without getting the okay from your spouse. You feel very controlled based on that. There may be psychological or verbal abuse. Maybe they're calling you names. Maybe they're controlling your social media. Maybe they are jealous. So obviously in many situations, it's very sad, very, very common, unfortunately, at least that's what we're seeing with our clients. It seems very common that the H-1B principal can be controlling their non-working spouse, can be abusive towards their non-working spouse that person feels stuck because they don't have work authorization in the US. So if you're in this situation or you know somebody in this situation, they do have an option to apply for work authorization as an H-4 dependent based on this type of abuse. So let me go back. There is no need for a police report here, right? You can continue to stay married. There is no need for a police report. If you have one, fine, that can be helpful, but not required. Your H-1B spouse you can be in the marriage with them, you can have kids with them. But if you're in the situation where this has become so challenging, you feel hurt, you feel emotionally abused, you do have options to get your own independent work authorization. So give us a call if you or someone you know is in this situation. I know this is really important for my community, for people from India, because they do experience this hardship once they are in the US, they're educated, they're unable to work, and they're just come challenges in the marriage. So give us a call if we can help you with this. You can reach us at 703-348-1663. Again, that's 703-348-1663. And we can do a consultation. So the consultations are always with me. I do a consultation via Zoom. And that's my preference. Some of my clients want to talk over the phone, and that's okay too. We can accommodate that pretty easily as well. I prefer Zoom because I can show you documents about the process that we're going to use, the timeline, our fee, our payment options. So all of that is smoothly done through Zoom, but we can also do it by phone or and use email to kind of communicate and view the same documents at the same time. So we have clients all over the U.S. No matter where you are, either in the U.S. or abroad. We can help you. With your immigration issues. As a heads up, I only practice immigration. I do not practice anything other than immigration. So just as a heads up, that's what our practice is limited to. But we do everything under immigration. So we represent companies that are sponsoring for different visa types. We represent individuals applying for their own visas. We do humanitarian cases. I just had a consultation this morning for an asylum case for a whole family coming in from Peru. So it's very exciting. A lot of different options can be discussed with us at a consultation. So we handle many different types of immigration cases. So if you would like some advice, if you would like to get deep into your specific case, certainly give us a call. I'm at 703-348-1663. And I have a number of questions here, so I'll go ahead and take them. Hi, Sunny. Hi, Mukul. Nice to see you both. Hi, Hidayat. How are you doing? Nice to see you. I hope you're feeling good. I have someone here. Hi. They said, hi, if I expedite the EAD in an employment-based EB3, can I do that? You may be able to expedite the EAD. So again, it's the same kind of thing, right? So it depends on your specific case. So I'm not exactly sure what your case is, but let's say you are an H-4 dependent, so meaning you're the spouse of an H-1B visa holder, and they have a pending employment-based application, right? So let's say they have a pending employment-based application. Let's say it's been approved, and now they're just waiting for that green card to become available so they can file for what's called adjustment of status. I don't want to go into all of the details because it's very boring legal stuff, but it basically means if you're in the U.S., you can apply for your green card. I don't think it's boring, but you might think it's boring. But anyway, but you can apply for your green card when it becomes available, right? But let's say you're in that stage and you're just waiting for that employment authorization to become available. If you can show financial hardship, there are certain ways, certain circumstances where you might be eligible. Okay, so if you want to talk it over with us, I can certainly walk you through it, walk you through what an expedite request might look like, what's required, what types of evidence might be helpful. And you can reach us at 703-348-1663. Hope that answered your question. And it says, is there a red flag if I expedite the EAD? No, the only thing I would say is be truthful. Be truthful with everything that you submit to the USCIS. You don't want to misrepresent. You don't want to be fraudulent in any way, anything that you're saying to the USCIS. So I would say anything that you submit, any statements you make, of course, be as forthcoming as you can be. If you're concerned, we can certainly talk you through it. We can talk you through the requirements, and we can help you frame your argument to USCIS. We're at 703-348-1663. Hi, Ronak. Great. Ronak just started following us. Awesome. Great. So, give us a call. Feel free to put your questions in if you're on here. Feel free to put your questions in. I'm happy to answer them. If you want to call us for consultation, again, my name, if you're just joining or if you haven't joined me before, my name is Pratibha Agarwal. I am an immigration attorney. I'm based right outside of Washington, D.C. in Arlington, Virginia, but our clients are kind of all around the United States and abroad. Okay. Ronak saying, can I do EB3 on an asylum? So for EB3 is employment-based third preference. That's what he's talking about when he says EB3. So a company is sponsoring you for a green card. That's what EB3 is. And EB2 and EB3 just kind of vary based on your experience and your degree. So they're just two different employment-based categories. They're very similar in the application process. So can you do asylum so for people that are unfamiliar, asylum is when someone is afraid to return to their home country. They're going to stay in the U.S. because they're afraid to return to their home country. So that's what asylum is. And so there are two separate applications, asylum, and then there's EB3. So you can do that. The thing with asylum, you can do two separate applications. It's fine. However, you want to be careful here, right? So when someone says they're filing for asylum, someone says they're filing for asylum, they usually came in illegally, or they overstayed their visa. So you have to keep that in mind, because when you do EB3, you can only have 180 days where you're either out of status or not lawfully present in the U.S. So it may not be worth, if you have more than 180 days, it may not be worth doing the EB3 because you're not going to qualify to adjust in the US. You won't be able to qualify. So everybody's situation is different. Certainly give us a call. We can walk you through it. We can see what's the best option for you and what you might be able to qualify for, so you don't waste your time or your money, so you can have some clarity in what immigration options are available to you. But I'd be happy to chat with you. Feel free to call us at 703-348-1663. Says, thank you. You're welcome. Hi, Balji Singh. Nice to see you. Well, great. I think we answered all of the questions that are on here today. It was nice to see you. I will pop back on, periodically. But if you don't already like us or follow us on TikTok, feel free to do that. We are at Agarwal Immigration. That's our handle on both platforms, and I do stream here as much as I can. Hi, Jordan. Thanks for joining. All right, I'm gonna head out for today, but it was nice to see you guys. If you have any immigration questions, please feel free to call our office, 703-348-1663. Okay, thanks so much. I will see you soon. Bye.